Hello guys, you're welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Lady B. So today we'll be making the basic skirt that you're seeing on the thumbnail. It's actually a straight skirt that I'll be giving out some calculations on how you can manipulate it into a pencil skirt. For us that love it pencil, I will also be telling you guys on how you can actually achieve a pencil skirt. Okay, for you to achieve that, it needs some calculations, and I'll be disclosing that in this video. Okay, but for this particular skirt, it's gonna be a straight skirt and not pencil skirt. Okay, that's what she wants. All right, and to you, my subscribers, my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for always staying with me. And if this is your first time of seeing my channel, please do well to subscribe, be part of the family. And as you do that, may God Almighty bless you in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, and I've gone ahead to loosen up the Ankara. Okay, I've gone ahead to do that, and after which I'll be folding the Ankara into two. So while I do that, the basic measurements I will be needing for cutting of this skirt is actually the waist circumference, your waist to your hip line, okay, which is 8 inches. But if the person is on a taller side, you should make use of 10 inches. That is waist to the hip. Okay, if the person is so tall, make use of 10 inches or 9 inches. Okay, if the person is on average height, make use of 8 inches. All right, and then the next thing we need is the waist to the knee length, which is 19 inches. If the person is tall, make use of 19 inches. If the person is on average height, make use of 19 inches. 19 works for almost everybody, except if the person is short, you should make use of 18 inches. And even if the person is tall or on average height, but doesn't know how to walk properly, okay, doesn't know how to catwalk, let me use that word, sorry, and you should just go ahead and make use of 18 inches so that person will be able to walk properly. Okay, 18 inches will enable the person to walk so well. All right, so guys, after I must have uh, folded my fabric into two, I also go ahead and fold it into two again, but this time around I'll be leaving about 1 inch gap. That will serve as the zipper allowance. Okay, that will serve as the zipper allowance for you to know the wideness of this fabric, of the required fabric that you need, starting from that folded edge and measuring mine to know if it's okay for me. You should just go ahead and divide your hip circumference by 4. Okay, I don't know if I'm too fast. Go ahead, divide your hip circumference by 4. Alright, whatever you get, add 2 inches sewing allowance to it. Alright, use it to fold again. Alright, use that to fold. That should be the width of your Ankara. Okay, so, and the next thing I need you guys to take note of is that every measurement that I'll be taking now will start from that folded edge. It will not cross it. It will not get to that 1 inch sewing allowance. All right, it will not get to it. Okay, so I'll just use my hand and flatten the material down, making sure that everything lays flat before I start the cutting or the drafting. Okay, so I think this is okay now. I think this is okay, and I'll just go ahead and mark my starting line or my waistline over there and pointing. Every measurement will start from that folded edge. So let me check if this is up to 1 inch. That my zipper allowance. Let's see if it's up to 1 inch or more than. Okay, what I have here is actually more than 1 inch. So when I'm cutting it, I will be removing some part of it so that I will have just 1 inch. Remember, 1 inch is not constant. You can actually make use of 2 inches or 1 inch or 1.5. It will not be more than 2 inches. But for me, I do make use of 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, and in this case, I have more than 1 inch there, so I'll be cutting off some part of it while I'm cutting. So what I'm doing now is I'm marking the waistline. Okay, I'm just marking the waistline or the starting line. Okay, so from that line I just marked, from that line now I will go ahead and mark my waist to the hip line. Okay, I will go ahead and mark the waist to the hip line, which is 8 inches. Okay, I'll be taking that at 8 inches. All right, and after which I will also go ahead and mark my waist to my knee line, okay, which is 19 inches. Okay, remember what I said. If the person is on an average height, go ahead and make use of 19 inches. If the person is short, make use of 18 inches. If the person doesn't know how to work properly, go ahead and make use of 18 inches. It will still come out fine. Okay, so I'll also go ahead and mark my waist to the length of the skirt at 42 inches plus extra 1 inch, okay, for turning allowance at 43 inches. You could make use of 2 inches, okay, but remember, if you make use of 1 inch, that is the exact thing you will also remove after taking the length of the skirt on your lining. Okay, whatever turning allowance that you added to the main fabric, you should remove it from the ankara. Okay, from the lining, sorry, from the lining. Okay, not ankara, from the lining, not actually from your main fabric, but from the lining. Okay, so the lines I marked here, I will be repeating it again. Okay, in order for me to have a straight line. Okay, I'll be marking my waist to my hip at 8 inches. If the person is on the taller side, make use of 10 inches. My waist to the knee, 19 inches. Okay, then my waist to the length of the skirt plus my hemming allowance at 43 inches. I hope you get. Okay, so after I must have done that, I will go ahead and connect the lines to form a straight line. The ankara seems to be too colorful. Okay, it seems very colorful, but I'll try as much as possible to explain everything that I'm doing here. Okay, I'll try my very best to explain everything that I'm doing here. So I'm just connecting the lines. Okay, so over there is the waistline, the hip line. Okay, there, that is the knee line, and of course the length of the skirt plus my hemming allowance. Okay, at 43 inches. So let's start. So I'll be inputting the waist measurement. The waist I'm using here is 32 inches, and 32 divided by 4 give me 8 inches. Okay, I'll be adding extra 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, every measurement I'll be taking will start from that folded edge. It will not get to the 1 inch zipper allowance. It will start from that folded edge. Okay, it will not get to that 1 inch zipper allowance. Just pay attention to how I'm placing my tape. Okay, you see what I'm doing now. I've divided my waist by 4. It gave me 8 inches. I will mark. Then I'll add extra 2 inches sewing allowance starting from that 8 inches I marked. Okay, then coming to the hip line, I also divide my hip measurement, my hip circumference actually by 4. I'll divide my hip circumference by 4. It will give me it gave me 9.5. Okay, I got 9.5. Divide your hip circumference by 4. Whatever it gives you, you mark. Okay, you mark it down. Then you place your tape from that place and add your 2 inches sewing allowance. Feel free to make use of any sewing allowance of your choice. It's still okay. So to get the knee, pay attention to what I'm saying now. To get the measurement for the knee, take the measurement of what you have on that hip, including the 2 inches sewing allowance. Okay, all right. Don't get to that. Do not put your tape to that 1 inch. Start from that folded edge. Okay, take the measurement of what you have here. Mine gave me 11.5, but because you want it just straight, I'll be removing just 1 inch, okay, from that 11.5, and I'll be left with 10.5. Okay, but since that you want it to be straight like two pencil, okay, pencil skirt, all you need to do is to divide your hip circumference by 4. Okay, whatever you get, minus 2.5 inches from it. Okay, divide your hip circumference by 4. Whatever you get, minus 2 or 2.5. Go ahead and minus 2 or 2.5 from it. Whatever you get or you are left with, that is what you will mark on your knee line, and of course on the hem of the skirt. Okay, then after which you add just a half inch sewing allowance, which is not even necessary. Okay, it's not necessary. No, it's not even important to add any sewing allowance to the knee and to the hem of the skirt. just go ahead and input the exact thing you got after you must have divided your hip measurements by 4, and you minus 2.5 from it. Go ahead and input the exact thing you got on the knee and on the length of the skirt. Okay, but for this case, I only measured what I have on the hip, including the 2 inches sewing allowance. I minus just 1, and I was left with 10.5. That is what I marked on the knee line and of course on the hem line. Okay, so now I will just go ahead and connect the 2 inches allowance together. I hope you understand. Don't forget to ask your question if you have any. I'll be right there waiting to answer you. So placing my curve ruler like so, pay attention to the one placing the curve ruler, making sure that it's not too curvy. Okay, I will go ahead and connect the 2 inches I have marked already. You can actually make use of your free hand here if you do not have any curve ruler available. You should just go ahead and make use of your free hand, or if you have your hip curve, it's perfect. If you have any curve ruler, go ahead and make use of it. But if you are making use of your free hand, make sure that around that hip side that you have a curve effect there. Okay, I just hope I'm making sense. So you can see the one I'm placing my curve ruler now. Okay, I've connected it. Then to connect from the knee line to the length of the skirt, I'll be placing the straight part of the ruler and not the curved part of the ruler, and I will mark it straight down. I think the line is not too bold. Let me make it bold down there, visible enough. The Ankara seems to be more colorful, like I just believe you guys understand what I did here. But let me explain what I did. At least that will help if you didn't understand me. So coming to that hip line, let's input our dart before I explain what I did. Okay, so I'll be using the bust span, that is the nipple to nipple. Remember, all our measurement is starting from that folded edge. So her nipple to nipple is 8 inches. 8 inches divided by 2 gave me 4 inches. So I will mark 4 inches. I will mark 4 inches there. This dart I'm taking is both for the front and the back piece. Okay, so the length of the dart, okay, for my front is 4 inches. Right, let me get 4 inches again, starting from the folded edge, so that my line will be straight and not somehow funny. Okay, so I will mark this straight line now. The length of this of my dart for the front is 4 inches, and the back will be 5 inches while I'm sewing it. So to open up the dart, I will mark half inch on both sides of the 4 inches we marked. Okay, I'll open the dart leg by half inch on both sides. Then I'll be connecting it to the length of the dart line. Okay, like so. Remember that the dart length that I make use of here is not actually constant. You could make use of 5 inches for the front and of course 6 inches for the back. Is okay like that. Okay, so I have opened the dart by half inch on both sides, and that is it. So let me explain what I did. Over there is the waistline, the hip line, the knee line, and of course the length of the skirt. Okay, so coming to the waistline, I divided my waist by 4 and I marked 8 inches. Then I added 2 inches sewing allowance to it. You could make use of any sewing allowance. On the hip line, I marked my hip after I must have divided it by 4, and I added 2 inches to it. Then I measured what I have around the waist, around the knee, around the hip, around the hip, and I minused 1. I was left with 10.5. That is what I marked on the knee line and of course on the length of the skirt. Then for the darts, I divided her bust span by 2. I got 4 inches. I marked, then I opened it up by taking half inch on both sides. The length of the dart is 4 inches for me, and the back length will be 5 inches while I'm sewing it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is to cut. Okay, I hope you get. Remember the calculation I told you. Let me repeat that again. The calculation I made use of here is for a beautiful straight skirt, okay, and not too pencil. If you want yours to be too painful, to be too pencil, I'm so sorry. If you want yours to be too pencil, all you need to do is to divide your hip circumference by 4. Then whatever you get, like I got 9.5 for my own. After I must have divided my hip by 4, I got 9.5. Then from that 9.5, I'll be removing 2.5 from it. Whatever I was left with, I will mark it on the knee line, okay, and of course on the hem line. Then I'll be adding half inches to it. I'll add half inch to the knee, and of course half inch to the hem of the skirt, though it's not important, it's not really necessary, okay. But if you don't know how to manage fabric, it's important that you add that half inch, okay, so that it will not be too tight around that area. So that is just how to cut it. Alright, so I've just gone ahead to cut, and remember I said that what I have here around the zipper part is more than 1 inch. My son, I'm so sorry for that. It's more than 1 inch. So I've gone ahead to just cut out a little piece from it, so that I'll be left with 1 inch. Okay, and that is it. Our skirt is ready. So I'll be cutting off the starting line or the waistline that we marked earlier. That's what I'm cutting off now. That starting line that we marked. Okay, and now I'll be notching the dart leg. Okay, the half inch we marked on both sides. That's what I'm notching now. I did not notch the 4 inches. I'm just notching the half inch we took on both sides. Okay, and the skirt is ready. Okay, I believe you know how to cut your band. Okay, I believe you know how to cut the band of your skirt. Okay, I do cut it straight. There's no fancy thing around it. I do cut mine straight with the length of the skirt. Okay, I cut it separately. The length of the front, I'll cut it, then I'll add some interface into it, and I'll use it to hem it. So that is it. That's just the simplest way to cut your skirt. I believe this is very detailed. Okay, I believe the tutorial is very detailed. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, be part of the family, okay, and do give this video a thumbs up. Okay, if you have any question, go ahead and ask in the comment section. I'll be right there waiting to answer you. All right, so this is the front piece. This is what it looks like, and for the back piece we have 2 pieces for it. That's because we will have zipper at the back of the skirt. All right, this is how I cut my own skirt, and it's always coming out wide. It comes out very okay, like very fine. All right, just go ahead and try yours and let me know what you think. Okay, so this is the back piece. See what we have here is 2 pieces for the back. Okay, this skirt will have slit at the back. It will have slit at the back. Okay, so guys, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and tell me what you think in the comment section. Do well to subscribe to my channel, be part of the family. Until we meet again in my next video. I love you. Bye.